Voudrais peinture le pont ici. I've been looking at this view for a while. It'd be rather nice to have a go actually on the bridge. Not easy to squeeze in there without being a risk to the traffic. But actually there shouldn't be too many cars today, just the odd ones. And I want to wait till the light's a bit higher. I'm not quite sure what the weather's doing this morning. It looks to be a reasonable sky, a little bit of fluffy cloud about. Hopefully we'll get a bit of sunshine. I need it up and higher and across down the river more. But I want to have a go at a large canvas just off the bridge here and see if we can get an acrylic done again, looking right down the river, this view here. We have the mill one side, and then the other side, we come round. I'm going to have my canvas there. I'm going to be painting down this direction to try and get onto this bridge, painting down this view. So I'd like a bit more sunshine down it yet. What I'm going to have to do is just stand on the edge here with my paints here and work this way. There shouldn't be a danger to the traffic that way. So while I'm waiting for the sun to get high enough, what I need to do is get the drawing done. Unfortunately at the moment it's going to mean that the sun's putting my shadow onto the canvas a bit, but hopefully you'll follow it through with me well enough to work out a nice composition first. It's not easy at this angle. I'm going to use my fingers as usual to find what I want to fit in. Coming down the river, down here. So I want to bring in some reeds just down here. So looking at my frame again. Yes, coming in here. And I've got below here I've got a nice light area just here. It's these challenges that make things worthwhile, and it's a beautiful view. I mean, there are so many views here. I was only saying to a reporter yesterday, she said, well, you know, what places have you found to paint that's nice? I said, everywhere you look, you cannot, it's very difficult because you're spoilt for choices here. There are just so many beautiful places to paint. Let's get some water going on my palette first of all. Some white paint. And a little turquoise, just to get me going before I start putting pinks over the top. So I'm going to work in this turquoise first. I'm tempted not even to bother with the roller today. I think I might just work straight on with the brushes. Don't really need to use the roller today, I don't think. So I'm going to come straight in with my brushes. And you know, things change as you go along, don't they? So let's work on that. Then into my warmer blues and pinks. So coming up here now, I'm going to come into my cerulean. It's a bit warmer up here before I start flicking across into some ultramarine. So that's a nice warm pinky sky coming up here. I'm going to put these colours over the top in just a moment. Now warmer still, I'm going to come into my ultramarine. I'm not going very dark yet. I'll bring the clouds over it in just a moment. That's big brushes. Start with the big brushes, finish with the smaller brushes. Usual rule. You don't have to have rules, of course. You know, there's always an exception to a rule anyway, isn't there? So I've got a lovely flesh tone that somebody left me. I bought a whole box of acrylics from the wife of an artist who sadly had passed away. And some quite nice colours amongst it. So I'm going to work up these mottled colours this morning. And you see I'm pushing in with the tip of the brush to get this stippled effect. And working that colour into the sky, just gently here, at the edges, scumbling it in, feathering it in, to get these effects of the cloud in the distance here. Plenty of it, let's go a bit thicker here. And get this mottled effect of the clouds this morning. Big brush then, tickling the paint on, working into this gradually, in the feeling of atmosphere and fluffy cloud, I hope. And as the paint dries, just dragging this across and through to get the effect of the clouds behind here. wisping mare's tails across the sky. Some beautiful colours happening. Let's see if we can find them. Let's be a Monet, let's look for light, let's get the atmosphere, let's try and capture the moment and the time of day. And we want to start our light blues that we had there. Let's go back to my other palette because I've still got some paint on there, and I'll just whip some of that in. Deeper blues into here as well. Trees coming out there, through to here, up. Once I've established some colours, then I can start to see things better. I'll be able to work these trees up much better. But these tones are darker down into there. And of course the reflections happening down into the water, as we were saying just now. Right down below the tree here, into here, through here. Put more water on the brush. In fact, I'll hit some of that now. Let's hit a very deep green blue down here. Too much, a little warmth into it. A little blue into it. Really loose painting at first. Just building up these colours, just finding these tones. Need to get these lovely deep shadows and reflections in. This sort of feeling of, they're very like the Dales rivers, these. They have a sort of slightly iron water feeling to them in places. Right, back to here again where it's a lot softer. I may need to go to a smaller brush in a moment. As I say, at the moment I just want to establish my colours. I need to establish these greens and warms, and just to get to know where I am. Back up there a little cooler, perhaps. Again, get a bit of yellow ochre around the white and just soften it back a bit here. There's a lot of blue, remember, in trees. There's a lot of blue in the greens. You've got to look for those colours. So cerulean blue and a bit of yellow ochre going in there now, before I can really start to play with the colours here in the background. I haven't really had a chance yet. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bon courage.
A bit warmer in the blues coming down here. Let's find these colours. Chrome yellow into this here, a bit more white. Bring up these lights here a bit. Comes down there. Light from the sky there, because we've got this lovely piece of cream here, haven't we? We mustn't forget that's reflecting here. We're just starting to see the picture take form now. I may go down brushes shortly to be able to start working in some, try and find these individual colours. What's this composition? Be careful with it. I don't want to lose the composition. Right, the sun's beautifully out now, so I can start to put my other brushes and maybe work up a bit more carefully with the tones in the background. Coming on that tree there. You can start to paint with light more now, as Monet would have done. Gradually pick up these highlights. The sunlight shining down here on the grasses. Watch the vertical strokes in the water. We need these vertical strokes to give the feelings of reflections. Yep, some beautiful colours happening here today, and we really need to find them. One colour against another makes such a difference. There's a bit of colour here that can change everything so much. Really make these colours vibrate and sing for us. It's an orchestra, it's music, and we must remember to keep the tonal values going as well. The sun's starting to really brighten up and it's getting quite warm, and I've got to watch my paint's getting dry. Warm and cool dark. So now I'm taking some Prussian blue. I'm taking a bit of Elysian crimson into it to make it a much warmer dark. Oh, much stronger just there. So we need some really strong darks going just up here to bind these trees here. Yeah, look at that. To really bring out those shadows here. So much to do in so little time. I've had what, about an hour now, and I've really got so much work to do. So many beautiful colours here to work up. I need to use my big brush again just to glaze over. This is a bit too yellow, this area here, and I just want to come over it with a bit more pink, blue, pinky blue, and it goes a fraction more orange as it comes across here. Just going to find these colours. It's not easy. Keep looking for these colours. It's really so wonderful to do. It's really so beautiful to try and find these things. And when you succeed, it's even better. Down here, all of these little points of light can make such a difference. They're reflecting inside the trees or wherever. Try some green with that brown. Brown's very strong, I have to wash it down, but the sun shines down, giving me these lovely highlights across the colour which I want to find. The autumn leaves are just starting, so we're just getting some colour of the oranges and browns and things going on into here. Some lovely darks coming into here that I want it to bring out again. This feeling of these lovely warm sunlit rocks just underneath, playing between the blues, the cools and the warms. So about an hour and a half. So lemon yellow and a little bit of emerald, and we'll start to pick up these lovely bits of grass coming through here. Remember the cools, we've got the warms, but we've got to play the warms against the cools. So we mustn't forget to keep putting these cools going, as well as the lighter shades. Push against, make the background go back. Keep working your warms and your cools. Keep painting flowing together. Where there's one colour, it will come through many others. Don't be afraid to go back and cut into the sky if you want. For instance, back here I might have to go back a little. All these lovely light sparkles that are going on over the darks here. It's my third to last day this summer, and I want to make the most of it, because I shall miss the place, I know. There's lovely turquoises and one colour against another here. You bring out, you see, if I put these cooler greens into here, how it makes the other colours seem slightly warmer. So you see how we can create a painting just building up loosely, as I've always been trying to tell you, step by step. It's like a jigsaw, working one shape against another. I think it's time to start using a bit of sponge. I'm doing a bit of texture here in the foreground, so I'll mix up a bit more paint, more than I'd need normally with a brush. We'll just have a go at these areas here. Let's make a nice light green, warm, yellow green here, and see if I can get some paint on with the sponge. Colour, there's my sponge. Let's just see what we do here. Yeah, a bit more blue in it. And some lighter, cooler colours as well. Down through here. And of course the same on the other side, maybe a little bit lighter and a bit more yellow on the other side. stronger yellows there. I'm going to put on some chrome yellow into the green and just see if I can bring some of these warmer colours here especially out. Back to my brushes in a minute and carry on with them. The way that the light is shining through here to these trees. Just wash the sponge and carry on with a smaller brush. Some of these lovely warm colours just reflecting in here under the warmth of this summer's day. We're trying to do an impressionist work and we've got to try and capture that moment in time. So we've never used pure white, we've used very light colours all the time. The impressionists banned black and they used colour and white very occasionally, or to work into white, but they didn't very seldom use pure white. And we're down to the final touches, if you like, and just picking up little bits of light here and there, trying to find these planes of leaves one against another. Well, that's as far as we've got for the minute. We'll come back in a minute, just take a look at the scene again, how the light has changed. Absolutely beautiful. And then back to our piece that we're working on. The sky hasn't changed that much really. The clouds have gone away a bit, but that's alright. Just put a few little bits of pure white in now at the very end of the painting, just to show these flowers. Is it anywhere else? I don't think so, unfortunately. Might put a little bit just over here. Just a little sparkle here and there. Just to bring the colours out. Maybe a little bit of white in some of the ripples here as well. But I need to just try and see if I can use these lights to balance it up a bit. There's final touches to the painting which can make all the difference. I'm not quite happy with the balance yet. That's better. It's this balance across here that I'm trying to find. That's a bit better. Again, I'm trying to balance it across. It's not quite happening. And now we've got a little figure down there in the distance. It's absolutely ideal. A little yellow figure down here fishing. I'm just going to try and put in. Just there, directly down here. Bright. A little bit of white with that as well. It's moved now, but just time to try and get that little figure in. Distance there to lead our eye in. Now actually, let's just use a little bit of magenta now and blue, and just see if we can work on these distant trees a bit more with the magenta here. Yes, pushing them back up into here. This magenta's a nice colour, a little bit of blue with it, a little bit of green with it, just to push these colours back a bit here. That's better. Do I need to put any more darks in here and there perhaps, in places? Make a few darks, take some Prussian blue again and some bit of brown. And just look at these darks in places a little more. We've got a lot of mid-tones and we've lost some of these lovely darks that are working up here amongst the background. Just need a bit of glazing here and there maybe. I need the greens back a bit more in places. Sure. Just need to get these greens reflected reflecting a little bit more here. Well, there we are. That's my scene, and here's my painting. Well, that will do for today. We've had about 3 hours on this, and it's been very enjoyable. Didn't need the roller after all, only used one sponge, but it's a scene I wanted to do, something a bit different. We'll photograph it and we can look at it in a better light.